Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful and amazing morning in the city of West Lafayette. Today we have the luxury of having somebody who's very special to me, somebody I've known for a long time, Park Superintendent Joe Payne. He unfortunately isn't in the picture right now, but he'll be here in a little bit. But for right now, we've got my dog, Abby, who's going to join us on yet another fun and entertaining episode of Fun with the Mayor. Did you do that okay, Abby? Fun with the Mayor? Good girl. Well, here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, in the heart of the city of West Lafayette's probably most renowned park, Happy Hollow Park. I have with me our park superintendent, Mr. Joe Payne. Hi, Joe.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm as chipper as a whale. How are you?
Great day to be on the trails.
So why don't you talk to me a little bit about what we've done here? This park actually several years ago was nothing more than just trees, grass, and mud. We've kind of changed that landscape, haven't we?
Well, this used to be a very popular entry here from corner of Rose and Kingston. And fortunately, over the 2-year construction period, we were able to turn this in a safe place to use during all weather conditions. And we do clear it in the winter, and it's heavily used, and dog lovers love it. How many have we seen today? About 12 already?
I mean, we've probably seen about a dozen dogs so far, that's for sure.
This trail network in the park is over 2 miles of paved trails, connects to the rest of the Wabash Heritage Trail, and of course on the uplands, 2 convenient routes to our other paved trails throughout northern part of the city. Altogether we have 27 miles of trails now. They're heavily used. We can never have too many because there will always be some minor conflicts. We have signs up to try to make sure that bicyclists yield to everyone, the rollerbladers yield to the pedestrians, people keep their dogs on short leashes. Are you coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I got 100 and some odd pound dog here that's got a mind of her own. It's true. I mean, people need to recognize that when they're on this trail, they need to share it with pedestrians, they need to share it with bicyclists, they need to share it with skateboarders, and they also need to share it with pets, correct?
That is correct. And one thing we've done here, there used to be a kind of a muddy gravel road that allowed access to the park through here, and it did not meet any Americans with Disability Act requirements. This trail, the primary purpose was to make sure it made the requirements for the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's a 8% maximum grade. There's a resting area every 200 feet. I have a friend that's in a wheelchair, non-motorized one. He's been up the top of this. It's work. He sure likes those resting areas.
I don't blame him. I've run up this thing. It's work. Okay, Joe, something else about this trail system. There have often been times when people make the assumption that if it's a trail system, if it's paved, they can put anything with wheels on it. And we in the city of West Lafayette obviously have some specialized equipment to do rescues in the event that we need to do so. But suffice it to say, we generally discourage motorized conveyances on these trails. Would that be accurate?
Yes, motorized vehicles are not allowed on the trails. Of course, so occasionally you'll find one from parks or fire or police. An electric assistive device for people that have to be wheelchair bound are allowed on the trail. Even out in the research park, occasionally you'll find a Segway or 2 on the trail.
Yep.
But the scooters are not, and our law enforcement officers, whether they're on bike and vehicle or in their all-terrain vehicle, we'll be trying to enforce that.
Okay, and in front of us here, Joe, what we have is one of our interpretive signs, and I see it has a lot of stuff that shows basically the history of our park. And this photograph was taken in 1915, and isn't that you there cutting the lawn? Isn't that when you started your parks career?
No, I'm on the mountain bike in the background there.
Okay, yeah, well, of course, back in 1915, a mountain bike was called a horse.
Well, it only had one wheel. We just kind of sat on the top.
Exactly. So generally, what are these for, and what value do they provide to our parks?
Well, we do have interpretive signs spread throughout our trails network, and they certainly help people get educated about where they are, helps them gain respect for the property and to help take care of it, and build support for the efforts of the mayor and the Parks Department.
Now, we had earlier talked about the signage that we have in the park, and to my left, we actually have an example of some informational signs that explain to people what they can and can't do on our trails, correct?
We do. We have safety signs and informational signs throughout our trail system. We have some excellent trailhead signs, provide information about trail etiquette as well. This just an example to your left. This is coming down off a steep hill, and you're supposed to yield to the folks here, and you're supposed to yield if you're on a bike to everybody, if you're on other wheels to the people walking, and people walking need to pretend they're on a road. Keep to the right, If they have their pet with them, they need to try to keep the pet on the right half of the trail. I know that's sometimes difficult.
Yeah, well,
you
know.
You don't always control your pet.
Yeah, no, sometimes it controls you. When it's that big, it controls you.
But it's just common sense. If you're a trail user, pay attention. It's like driving through a neighborhood, watch out for kids. If you're on a bike or if you're in a car. And certainly watch out for our lovable animals, which don't really pay attention to us all the time.
What are we doing?
Well, we're walking down the trail towards Happy Hollow Park Playground. Best playground in the whole county. You grew up around one of our other nice parks, a really nice park up called Lommel Park in the Barberry neighborhood.
I did.
6-acre park.
I did.
Great playground there.
Great playground.
It was my favorite place to go when I had a little boy, because I could sit by the playground and my wife and I could have lunch, and when the little kid took off, I could catch him before he got to a road.
Plenty of grass in which
What did you do there when you were a little kid?
Well, I grew up actually on the corner of Wilshire and Essex, and when we moved here in the early 60s, Lommel Park was brand new. And my understanding was that the equipment was there was as much for exercise and physical activity as it was for entertainment. And there was this one device, and I'll use the microphone sort of as a graphic assistance here. It was a pole, and then from the pole hung kind of like an elevated merry-go-round, and it was attached by chains. And those of us that were under the age of 10 realized that that served a dual purpose. First off, you could hang from it and swing, but second off, we used to call it the concussion machine, because you get your little friends that would walk by and you would say, "Hey Steve," and they would look away, and whang, right upside the head, the concussion machine would work.
I've heard the concussion machine story before. It's a great story.
Yes, it is.
Well, this is a pet cleanup station, information station. You take one of these, you put it in your pocket, and then when your dog decides it's time for enjoying nature, you just turn it inside out and put it in there, put it together, put it in one of our waste receptacles, or you can take it with you if you want. Take it home, put it in your garden.
And in my particular case, I hope you have those bags in supersize.
Well, and you can use more than one bag if you need to.
Okay. Well, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you've enjoyed our tour of our parks. You know, in the city of West Lafayette, you know, we have neighborhoods that are connected to each other through an amazing trail system. We've got parks that celebrate outdoor opportunities for our children and for ourselves. We've got plenty of green space to picnic and play games in. And probably above all else, we've got a maintenance staff that looks after all of these different amenities. Joe, actually, how many acres of parks do we have here in the city of West Lafayette?
We take care of 450 acres of property, mostly in parks, some of it on trail rights of way, and a little bit of the public rights of way.
And that's a lot. Believe me, that's a lot. All that grass needs to be cut, all those trails need to be plowed in the winter, and all the trees need to be maintained. Having said that, I would be completely remiss if I did not give credit where credit is due. Our park superintendent, Joe Payne, is probably the steering force behind all of what we enjoy today. Joe, how long have you been with the city?
Oh, just over 20 years.
Just over 20 years.
Seems like yesterday, though.
Not only are we celebrating the wonderful aesthetics of our park system in the city of West Lafayette, but we're also celebrating sort of a sad day. This is Joe Payne's last month with the city of West Lafayette. He's actually retiring, correct?
I am. I'm resigning my position at the end of the month. I intend to continue working with our Parks and Rec Foundation.
Joe, as the mayor of the city of West Lafayette and representing the thousands and thousands of citizens who you've provided all these amazing amenities for, thank you so very much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another fun, educational, and informative episode of Fun with the Mayor.
Yay!
Take 42.
Take 5,000. Here, what we have here, Joe, is, or what Joe is here, and Joe have, and Hokey Smokes. Oh, okay.
Sorry, couldn't.
Yeah, she's so pretty. She's so full of slobber. What a pig. It's been what we hope to have been another entertaining and educational, fun, dude, with the mayor.
Do that again.
You were going to use your left hand.
I do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Click, beep, beep.